Hello, my dear students, and welcome to your favorite educational YouTube channel, Educator Prerna, or as you popularly know me as English वाली मैम. सो आज के सेशन में हम ये जो चैप्टर हमने पढ़ा है मेकिंग ऑफ अ साइंटिस्ट इसके क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करेंगे. सो फर्स्ट वी विल अंडरस्टैंड द आंसर्स to the questions which are given in the text and उसके बाद we will discuss some extra questions और उसी के साथ we will underline important extract from the chapter. So let us get started. So पहला question है how did a book become a turning point in Richard Ebright's life? तो यहाँ पर पूछा गया है कि वो जो बुक द ट्रेवल्स ऑफ मोनार्क उसकी मदर ने रिचर्ड एब्राइट की मदर ने गिफ्ट की थी. हाउ डिड इट बिकम अ टर्निंग पॉइंट इन हिज लाइफ? So when he got that book and he understood about the butterflies migrating, so that time he became more interested in collecting and tagging butterflies. So क्या हुआ that Richard now developed more scientific bent towards his work. Second, how did his mother help him? So जब आप अपने टेक्स्ट में पेज नंबर 33 पे आते हो, सो फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ जो है यहाँ पर उसी में आप यहाँ से जब पढ़ते हो that he also had a mother who encouraged his interest in learning. She took him on trips, brought him telescopes, cameras and mounting materials and other equipments and helped him in many ways. इसी के साथ यहाँ पर जब आप देखते हो that so she found work for him, all right, and of course that how she kept on how also the book that she gifted to her son. all right, अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस पे. ओके, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है यहाँ पर what lesson did Ebright learn when he did not so what lesson does Ebright learn when he does not win anything at the science fair? So the first lesson that Ebright learned when he does not win at anything at the science fair is that science is about real experiments rather than just a neat presentation. Okay, next, what experiments and projects does he then undertake? So यहाँ पर जो next set of projects that he undertook in his life, so talking about the butterflies, right, that how viceroys they copy monarchs to protect themselves from being eaten by birds. Second, the golden spots and the hormones he talks about, and of course he also the project project that changed his entire course of research and life was the study of cells, the study of DNAs needed for a life to be formed. Then what are the qualities that go into the making of a scientist? इसके लिए when you come down to this last part of the chapter, okay, so page number 37 it says, and that is one of the ingredients in making of a scientist. Start with a first rate mind, add curiosity and mix in well to win for the right reasons. So what are the qualities? First rate mind, curiosity and the right reasons to win. Okay, so these are the set of questions that are given in the chapter. अब हम आते हैं to some extra questions. It says, what is common about the role of Dr. Urquhart and Mr. Weir played in Richard's life? Okay, तो जब हम यहाँ की बात करते हैं तो यहाँ पर हम ये समझते हैं that both of them, so Dr. Urquhart, he kind of gave him feedback on regular basis that this is what you need to do, this is how a research is to be done. And Mr. Weir, he told him about he kept on encouraging him that you have that scientific mind, and so both of them, so Dr. Urquhart, he gave Richard regular feedback regarding his research, and Mr. Weir made Richard realize that his scientific bent and his mind and the efforts that he was putting in were worth his time, his life, and they were that he was actually on the right path. All right. Then what opinion did Mr. Ware, a bright social science teacher, have about him? So iske liye when I'll pick up the line from the chapter itself, it says that so Mr. Ware said that Richard was competitive, but not in a bad sense. So he's saying that he did have a competitive mind, but not a negative one. So he was quite positive. All right, as Richard had quite positive approach towards competition, and he wanted to win not just for the sake of winning, but because he wanted to do the best job he could do. All right. Then coming on to the next question, how do we know that Richard was a collector? बेटा अब यहाँ पर collector का मतलब is not talking about a particular position in the government. Here we are talking about a person who likes collecting many things. So here when we come to know that we see that Richard had a habit of collecting many things. So he liked collecting coins. He started collecting butterflies, and he collected rocks, fossils. All these things tell us that he was a collector. अब आपके पास क्या topics हो सकते हैं of long answer type. So books are a bundle of knowledge, very important. Okay, so how Travels of Monarch, how that book changes his entire perspective, his course of research. Role of parents in one's success, how his mother played an important role. Winning by doing the best. Winning not just for the sake of it, by doing the best job. अब जब हम बात करते हैं important extracts from the chapter, so let us have a look. So यहाँ पर आप बात करोगे, so we'll come here from the first. He had a driving curiosity along with a bright mind. He also had a mother. So this particular part talks about the role played by Richard's mother in his life and what kind of a person Richard was. All right. Then you also underline the part that he would catch a female monarch, take her eggs and raise them in basement through life cycle from egg to caterpillar to pupa and to adult butterfly. Then he would tag butterfly. So this talks about that how much Richard was Richard would go into the deep of making a particular research. Okay, now then let's come to this part. Already the competitive spirit that drives Richard was appearing. All right, and then he understood that he had to do a real science experiment. I knew most about was the insect work I had been doing in the past several years. So how Richard, through his experience of not winning a prize in the science fair the previous year, he understood what he needs to do next. So he was clear, he had a clear set goal. All right, then of course you talk about the part here. As a high school junior, Richard continued his advanced experiment on the monarch pupa, and then his project won first place at the International Science Fair. So ये जो part है, this basically talks about the various achievements that Richard made. Then the most important part, when he saw these photos, he didn't shout Eureka or I have got it, but he believed, along with his findings about the insect hormones that he had, how the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. It determines the form and function of the cell. Thus, DNA is the blueprint of life. This was basically the greatest achievement. Okay, so that's it from this chapter. We will meet in the next session with another interesting chapter. Till then, stay blessed, and of course like, share and subscribe to Educator Prerna. Thank you.